Joining us now from Jerusalem is Dr. Alon Liel. He's a former Director General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Thank you for joining us. Well, let's start with how is this statement going to be received in Israel, especially because the right wing of politics in Israel had such high hopes for Donald Trump?
Sure, the right wing is in power, so the Israeli government received the victory of Trump enthusiastically, especially after so much criticism from the previous administration on the issue of the settlements. In the last 2 weeks, since President Trump is there were 3 question marks. The first one was on Jerusalem. He promised to move the embassy on Jerusalem and then started hesitating. The second one was on the statement of the White House on the Holocaust, not mentioning the Jews in this context. And now the third surprise on the settlements, after embracing the settlements, suddenly hesitating again and criticizing the building of new settlements. So the enthusiasm now is met with some question marks, but still I would say this Israeli government, this Israeli administration loves the change on the overall and has lots of expectations regarding the future from President Trump.
It's still early days, of course, isn't it, in terms of this Trump administration, and maybe Israeli hopes were very high, but does it change anything in that, for Israel, that crucial relationship that they want to have with the United States?
Look, the crisis with President Obama was so deep and so long that although we have these question marks now in the background, these new question marks, still the feeling is that the relations will improve, especially the relations between the president and our Prime Minister Netanyahu. So still, if you ask me, although we had these new statements coming out from Washington, Israeli government is still very happy about the change and very optimistic about the future of the relations between Israel and the United States.
So they're optimistic about that. They're optimistic possibly about the Americans moving their embassy. They're optimistic about potentially about the settlements. But where does that actually leave the peace process between Israelis and Palestinians?
That's a good question. If the move of the embassy to Jerusalem will happen, or if the designated ambassador will be appointed and will live in Jerusalem and function from Jerusalem, I think the United States will lose the possibility to mediate and will not be seen as a potential honest broker. So if Trump will fulfill some of these original statements about Jerusalem or about supporting the settlements and will allow Israeli massive settlements in the West Bank, it's the end of the peace process and a blow to the peace process. But in any case, we don't have negotiations in sight. There is no atmosphere that can enable the two sides to enter the same room at this stage. So when you look around, it doesn't look as if negotiations will be triggered. It doesn't look as if this peace process will be revived in the near future.
Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Alon Liel, joining us from Jerusalem.